This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
It is amazing to me, it still baffles me, that MAGA world, Republicans, Trump supporters, they view no crime too severe to downgrade Trump in their eyes. There is nothing that Trump can do to dissuade them from fandom, from worshipful attitudes about this clear and present danger to our republic. Case in point, this story from the Washington Post just broke yesterday. Material on foreign nations' nuclear capabilities seized at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Some seized documents were so closely held, only the president, a cabinet level or near cabinet level official could authorize others to know. One, Donald Trump is no longer president of the United States. He no longer has an unfettered access to intelligence like this. That is just the way it is. And two, why does he think he needs this? Just the other day, he was rambling on Truth Social about whatever happened to the word nuclear. That was the thing that was being talked about. And here we are learning more information about just how much danger he placed the national security of the United States. I'm going to read a little bit from this article. It is high time that something is done. Listen, in spite of the efforts of his crony judge, Eileen Cannon, to extricate him from these troubles, the DOJ needs to move swiftly, indict, try, prosecute, convict Donald Trump, and place him where he is needed to be for years, inside the confines of a cell, surrounded by bars and guards. Reading from this article, a document describing a foreign government's military defenses, including its nuclear capabilities, was found by FBI agents who searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence and private club last month, according to people familiar with the matter, underscoring concerns among U.S. intelligence officials about classified material stashed in the Florida property. Some of the seized documents detail top-secret U.S. operations so closely guarded that many senior national security officials are kept in the dark about them. Only the president, some members of his cabinet or near cabinet level officials could authorize other government officials to know details of these special access programs, according to people familiar with the search who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe sensitive details of an ongoing investigation. But because he can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a supporter, I mean, listen, if Donald Trump is in tune to anything at all surrounding him, it's the fervent worshipers all around him. He understands them more than anyone. He understands that his calls for violence will be answered with violence. He understands that if he just denies it when it's clearly true, they believe him. It's a dangerous mix when you start blending jingoistic patriotism and nationalism and religion and worshipful attitudes toward one single individual where they wave flags with his name on them when they commit acts of violence in his name. It's a cult. Documents about such highly classified operations require special clearances on a need-to-know basis, not just top-secret clearance. Some special access programs can have as few as a couple dozen government personnel authorized to know of an operation's existence. Records that deal with such programs are kept under lock and key, almost always in a secure compartmented information facility with a designated control officer to keep careful tabs on their location. And I was going to say it, but the next paragraph says it for me. But such documents were stored at Mar-a-Lago with uncertain security more than 18 months after Trump left the White House. They're normally in a safe inside of a skiff with no more than 24 people within the entirety of the United States government having access. But Donald Trump had him in his office, had him in a box on the floor of his closet, allowing any idiot, any Chinese infiltrator, any other person trying to curry favor with Donald Trump to have access. This is endangering the literal lives of every single American through negligence and disregard and disrespect for our security infrastructure, our intelligence infrastructure. Yet he's the law and order president. Come on. After months of trying, according to government court filings, the FBI has recovered more than 300 classified documents from Mar-a-Lago this year. 184 in a set of 15 boxes sent to the National Archives and Records Administration in January. 38 more handed over by Trump lawyer to investigators in June, and more than 100 additional documents unearthed in a court-approved search on August 8th. You see what's happening here? It's a blatant disregard for the rule of law. It's a blatant disregard for the requests, the demands of the United States government to give back what is not Donald Trump's, to return to the custody of the people that which belongs to the people. Donald Trump doesn't own these documents. Being the ex POTUS doesn't make him more worthy of them. He's just the ex POTUS. Once the job's over, listen, it's like this. Once Donald Trump was no longer a Walmart greeter, he no longer had unfettered access to the break room. He's no longer the POTUS. He's the ex POTUS. These documents belong to the people. He's no longer an employee of the United States government. They're not his. Just because they were collected during his term as president of the United States, it means nothing. They belong to us, not to him. Christopher Kise, here's where it gets real good, a statement from Donald Trump's lawyer. Christopher Kise, a lawyer for Trump, decried leaks around the case, which he said, quote, continue with no respect for the process, nor any regard for the real truth. This does not serve well the interests of justice. A man who works for Donald Trump, whining and crying and sniveling about the truth. It's a bit much. Moreover, he continues, the damage to public confidence in the integrity of the system simply cannot be underestimated. The responsible course of action here would be for anyone in the government to exercise leadership and control. The court has provided a sensible path forward, which does not include the selective leak of unverified and misleading information. There is no reason to deviate from the path if the goal is, and it should be, to find a rational solution to document storage issues which have needlessly spiraled out of control. This isn't an issue of document storage, you mook, you liar, you shady lawyer representing a shady, worthless garbage human. This is national security. This is intelligence gathered so secret no more than 24 people have access to it. And Donald Trump had it in his country club. It's not document storage. It is the possession of documents that include violations of the Espionage Act. Document storage. Morons. And moreover, the morons who surround Donald Trump and pile upon him adulation, they believe it to be just document storage. Idiots like Tucker Carlson will ramble on and on and on about their love of country, but they don't love it enough to secure it. They don't love it enough to worry about the security of our national security, intelligence infrastructure for one, but also just the literal military security of our country. While Donald Trump shows these documents to who knows who, not just family members, but maybe idiot members of his country club. It's rich to start talking about the leaks when we're dealing with issues of this great of import. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore, just about everywhere. And if you appreciate me, please consider supporting my work. You can click the join button below this video. Right over here for $1.99, just pennies a day, you can become a channel member and support what I do here. You can also go over to patreon.com/I Doubt It podcast, which is a mechanism that doesn't just support the podcast. Even if you don't listen, you should, but even if you don't, all of that goes into one common pot and helps support the show here. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.